Goedenavond allemaal, we zijn hier in het Burgerweeshuis vanavond, 21 april 2012. En vanavond staat Deksels op het programma. Op het programma stonden Maarten Opdijn en Tom Le Croo, jongens uit Diepte. En vanavond krijgen we ook nog Steve Rachmat en de Advent. En daar gaan we nu even een klein interviewtje mee doen. Hi Cisco, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate.
Yeah, you had a good flight over here?
Really good, yeah, everything went well.
All right.
Looking forward to tonight, it's going to be good.
Nice to hear.
For sure.
Yes. Last night you played in Dublin. Was it a good start of your weekend?
Very good start.
Yes.
The Irish, similar to the Dutch, they like to party, very expressive, you know. The only thing is it closes early there in Ireland, so today closes a little bit later, so yeah, it's going to get better and better, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been a very good start to the weekend.
People go and dance till the end of the
Yeah,
night.
exactly, you know, the Irish are very on it, you know.
Nice, good to hear. Well, you've been in the game for almost 20 years.
Really?
It's quite some
I think
time,
so.
yeah, I've done my research.
Yeah,
1993 was the first release.
Of the Advent, yeah, it was about 93, 94 exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been an older history, but yeah, as the Advent has been about since 93.
How was the history before that?
Before then, was sort of just working with people and doing collaborations and a few releases on some labels, just as my name really, you know.
All right.
And working with like people like CJ Bolan, doing some of the first techno records for like RMS Records. Horsepower, exactly.
Yeah.
Classic record Horsepower from CJ.
Nice one.
Also did sort of records for Fragile, which is Derek May's label, did the first release for that. So there's a bit of history before the Advent, but yeah, the Advent was like about 93.
And how did the Advent project come together?
Well, we were being scouted by this guy from this record company who had heard of my work with CJ, and he was like hunting me down to sign me up to a label called Internal Records.
How did it go then?
It was really good.
It was faxes and stuff.
Yeah, it was for a DJ called Daz Saund, who used to DJ quite a lot in the 90s, and he worked in a record shop in London. And then he was telling me, yeah, there's this guy from London Records, Internal Records, and you know he wants to speak to you. Met him, a guy called Christian Tattersfield. He's the guy who signed Orbital and another group called Utah Saints, and Mark Gage from Vaporspace who did stuff for Plus A. So he wanted me to get on board, and we had a meeting and we agreed to everything. The rest is history.
Alright, nice. And do you still remember your first real gig as the Advent?
Yeah, I can remember the first gig in places like Japan, and the first festivals I played in England, and the first time I played in Germany. This I remember, like in Tokyo, the first time that always sticks to my mind was the Liquid Rooms, you know. Amazing venue in right downtown Tokyo. It was like in a skyscraper, you know, you go to the 6th, 7th, 8th floor, I can't remember, and it's just like a venue with like 3,000 people with amazing sound, really good energy. And you know, the Japanese are very, you know, a disciplined crowd, you know. They're not really into the drink, they're not into the drugs, they're just purely for the music. So just to see that and get that reaction was amazing, you know. Festival-wise in England was like Tribal Gathering, you know, one of the first sort of, you know, big-time festivals where they were just doing techno, you know. Yeah. Talking like 90, sort of like 96, 97, you know. Yeah. It's like considered like, you can compare it to like stuff like Awakenings or like Nature One or Negros or something. But this was Tribal Gathering back in 95, 96, do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. They were well ahead of their time. Yeah, so I kind of, I definitely remember those. Yeah.
Alright, nice. And did you play live back then, or did you do DJ sets?
No, it was mostly live, yeah. Me and my ex-partner.
How were the live sets back in those days? Because it's not like now with computers and stuff.
It was basically, I mean, I almost had like 2 studios. I had one studio to make my music, and then I had a studio which I would take on the road, which was like about 300 kilos of gear. So there would be me, Colin, and we'd have like a third person to come, and it was like, to help carry the stuff, because, you know, we're talking 5 flight cases, you know, there's only me and Colin, there's only so much we can carry, you know.
No, you're the artist and you have to carry all your own shit.
Yeah, we don't mind putting a bit of the hard work into it. It's part of the fun of it, you know what I mean, man? But yeah, it was a longer process, and you know, you need long sound checks, but the results were good, man. If it was a good event and really good sort of venue, good production, it was very, very good.
And if you compare that to your live sets now, what do you prefer or love more? Doing the real hardware live sets? Or
I miss bringing my gear, of course, because it's
you never do that.
It's
now.
more, no, not since like about 2002. I think 2002 was my last live set that I did with all my gear. I think after that, because when laptop technology started to come in, and Apple started making good laptops, and then programs were coming in, and I remember using Ableton, the beta test from like 2001, 2002. Yeah. Once I started using that, I was like, this is the future. This is definitely the future. Yeah. And now everyone's using laptops. Everyone seems to be using Ableton. So in a way, it's what I knew was going to happen. Yeah. Of course, it's nice to
technology takes.
Yeah, technology is obviously is changing and advancing very, very quickly, very fast. But yeah. But I still like playing now because everything is much more compact. It's I don't need to take everything. The computer can basically hold a lot of information. Yeah. Everything is there. I can still control and manipulate everything, but it just means you don't have to show all your gear. Everything is in the computer.
All right. And well, tonight you're playing in the Burgerweeshuis. It's not a real big venue, it's like 500 people.
Nice.
But sometimes you play in front of like thousands of people, 10, 20, I don't know how many, but massive crowds. But what do you like more? Playing in a smaller venue with not so much people, but really get into it, get in contact with the people, or do you like playing the big festivals?
A bit of both. Obviously, I like playing in smaller places because you get more of an intimate reaction with the crowd. They're very close. They're very, you can almost feel them. You know what I mean? Especially if it's in a real small type of venue and stuff, and that can be quite nice when you're playing live because you get more you get more response from the crowd. In a bigger venue, it's nicer because you get more exposure to more people. Mm-hmm. A club 500 people, okay. A club with 5,000 people, you're exposing your music to more people. Usually there's more DJs playing, so there's more of a, it can be more of a night that goes in different many waves of sound, from techno. Yeah. Smaller venues, a bit more like one guest or two guests, and that's it for the whole night. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I actually prefer smaller clubs, to be honest with you, because like I say, it's more intimate with the crowd. And I like that reaction.
Really get the feeling.
I like the connection with the crowd.
You can look somebody in the eyes.
Sometimes it can be too much if they're too close. Yeah. Because then they're getting their hands everywhere.
You're on the stage here.
But if it's good and if it's well set up, it can be more. You can get more satisfaction.
All right, good to hear. Well, you have your own label, Combination Research. You've been releasing music on that label since '98, I think.
No, 95.
95. Okay.
No. You might be right. About 96, late 96. Yeah.
All right. But for what reason did you start that label? To put out your own music, or did you really started to put out other people's music? Because I think the first 19 or 20 releases are all yours, right?
Exactly, yeah. Well, what happened was when our A&R man, the guy who signed me to Internal Records, when he left London Records and Internal Records, he kind of, he wasn't there no more, so we really didn't have our main man in the company.
You were living in London then?
Yeah, I was living in London and stuff. And because we didn't have our main man in the, in the label who signed us and who believed in us and just basically said, look man, you got total artistic freedom, make what you want, do you get what I'm saying? That had gone. And we were left with more trying to please the record company and the new people, which was like Pete Tong. Pete's a nice guy and stuff, but he just didn't understand our sound, Yeah. And then after the last album that we did, which was basically like, it was on hold for like 14 months. So we kind of finished the album, and then we had to wait 14 months for the album to be released. So we were really like not happy with that. So then once the album got released, we did okay. We decided not to carry on the record deal, and then we went out of the deal, and then we thought, okay, we're going to start our own independent company.
And that was together with Colin?
Exactly, beginning with Colin, and we decided to start the label, have our music like we were signed to the record company, because the record company only released our records, you know what I mean? So we wanted to carry on saying the same idea. So yeah, so then that's how we started Combination Research, was basically just to release all our stuff.
Alright, nice. And back then you didn't have MP3s like you have now, and you didn't have Beatport and all the other sites.
No internet.
It was pure vinyl.
No, pure
but,
vinyl.
How do you compare that to running a label then and running a label now?
Yeah. It's definitely, it's definitely hard. It can be a bit harder now as well, but can also be good as well, because technology's changing, it's advancing, it's getting really quick. More people are using the internet. You have to accept that. You have to be part of that. Do you get what I'm saying?
But do you like that change?
Yes and no. Yes, because there's more people around the world that can just log on and they have your information and they can access your music. This is a good thing. Mm-hmm. But no, in the sense where, in the times when we were selling records, a record, I think, would have a longer life in clubs than it does now. Now an MP3 comes out, okay, you go to Beatport, you go to Juno, you go to iTunes, it's a good tune. 2 weeks later, there's another good one. People forget about that one. You know what I'm saying? There's so much music constantly on rotation.
But it flushes into the mass and gets lost.
Exactly. So in the time when there was like good labels, not when it was too many, because I think it went down when there was people doing too many labels, and it was flooded the market with a lot of bad techno, and then it kind of like went down. People got lost, and then but not only because of that, but the crisis of financially as well, globally.
Yeah, you noticed that.
Because the distributors went down, and the distributors are the people that are selling the records to the shops, and the shops are selling it to the people. So the distributors are like right at the top of the chain of the food chain of how you sell your music, And then when that started to go down, it did change. But if you had music out in that time compared to now, you would get more focus, you'd get more attention, so that's the change.
Promotional use as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of feel sorry for the new artists out there, because they have to work really hard, and even if they make an amazing record that all the DJs play and they kind of like are all playing around the world, 2-3 weeks later there's something else. So it's very quick.
But for me, I mostly play vinyl.
Yeah.
It's just the feeling of holding that record, and it
it's
doesn't
physical.
get really lost,
It's physical. It's yours. You smell it. It's yours.
Yeah.
You have a product. You bought, man. You can put it down. It has information. It's got like more. It's got a cover. It looks nice. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's more of a physical connection with the music.
Yeah.
Now it's just you just download it.
Yeah,
you put it on your
just
computer,
press buy and
it's
then
like amongst many. It's all numbers now.
Now you have it in iTunes and you burn it on a CD.
Exactly,
and for me that's a bit of a pity.
It's become more physical and become more virtual. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a change,
But back then, how many vinyls did you sold, and how many do you sell now?
Well, we always, when we started Combination Research, we still wanted to keep it very exclusive. Yes. So we did like limited amounts of records. We used to do like 4,000 records limited for every release. Yeah. Which was, if you look at it now, it's like amazing.
Massive,
but of course, but when we could have sold a lot more, and we did sell more when we were doing remixes for people and EPs for other people. They'd sell like 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, whatever. And some other labels sold a lot more. The vinyl was a big market, but we like to keep it real exclusive, really independent, just to keep the people
wanting more. Funny to hear,
that's nothing. That's
200-300.
Yeah, exactly, because
so
the market's gone down. But back then, we always wanted to keep the music fresh, and we wanted the people wanting more. So in order to do that, we had to keep a tap on the amount of records that we do, because we know that once we sell the 4,000, we've already got the next 3-4 releases ready, and then the rotation was good, and you can spend more time in the studio. You don't have to go on the road and doing gigs every week. Yeah. You could just kind of like spend a month in the studio and then get the odd gig, and then you're back in the studio, because you can make a living and make money from records. You can't really do that now unless you're really commercializing and more mainstream, and the techno scene's changed as well. The sound has changed as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And do you still put out vinyl, or do you now switch over to just digital?
Well, I was doing vinyl up till about sort of 6 months ago.
Right.
Yeah, about 6 months ago, we decided to, because I was running a distribution company as well, where I was doing my own records, my own Combination Research. I think I've done the last 6 Combination Research by myself. And it was going well, but like I said, the record shops went down, distributors went down, and it was just basically, I mean, it's sad to say, as much as I love vinyl and I still have my vinyl collection. I don't buy vinyl, no. I used to before, but now there's no point because you can't find the music that you want on vinyl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to search.
All the good labels that are doing techno, they don't
it.
really put it on vinyl because, like I said, there's no market.
Yeah,
but I still, miss the time of releasing records. Yeah, but about 6 months or so now.
Alright. And do you have any releases coming up or some
few things? There's always things coming out. Let me see. At the moment, I'm working on an album for H Productions, which is a label from Kerry.
I wanted to ask you that. The last album was in 2005, Trinity.
Okay, see, so we're talking 12 years ago. That was the last album. So this is, it's been a long while, but so I'm working on this album, and I'm kind of going to have a mixture of everything. Because usually all my albums before have either been techno, or like electro, or when I was doing G Flame with Colin and Mr. G, we were more like tech house. Yeah. But with this album for Kerry, I'm going to do everything.
Alright.
I'm going to do some house, I'm going to do some tech house, some electro, some techno, I'm going to mix it all up so at least there's something there for everybody.
I'm getting curious.
Of all my history, that you've known my music and have kind of kept track of what I've done. There's something there, hopefully, for everybody. Yeah. So hopefully that will be coming out in June, July this year.
Alright.
There's also some remixes coming out. I've just done a Tiga remix with Industrializer that's coming out.
Alright.
Also
on Turbo? On Turbo?
On Turbo, yeah. There was already another release I've done with another guy called Spiriakos that's already out. It's been out already. But yeah, I got some other stuff coming out as well. So some remixes, more releases. I also have another label called Skyline Type Grooves. We call it STG. With some new guys, because I'm also looking for new talent, so I'm working with a lot of new guys at the moment. And it's a bit more of a deeper techno label, not like Combination Research, which is more sort of energy. It's a bit more energy, a bit more pumping. Yeah. So STG is a bit more sort of deeper. So yeah, there's some releases coming out. Yeah, just kind of go online and you will see stuff. Going. Yeah, there's stuff there all the time.
Alright, and then the studio, do you still work with hardware? Do you do everything software or?
Both, really, both. I mean, I still have all my studio equipment. Obviously, in the old days, you'd have everything connected, wires everywhere, and it's all patched in, and you're programming this and you're programming that. I mean, of course, I miss that, but in today's music making process, you can't really do that because it means if I want to go and do a quick tweak of a track I did like 6 weeks ago, I have to get all those keyboards out. I have to remember the patches. I have to remember the programs. I mean, there's a lot more, and even some of it. And some
modular synths as well.
I have a modular synth that needs repair that I used to use, but I mean, I used I used to use like Pro Ones and Oberheim OBMXs and and Korg MS-20s and 50s and it's all hands on. I mean, you can't recreate that sound again.
No.
You can't. Yeah. So with using software and hardware, it's good because if I find something that I like, I quickly copy it to audio. Yeah. It's there, so the memory's there. So if I need to recall that in 2 weeks' time,
and you can tweak it.
The audio file is there, exactly. So this is why I'm still using both.
All right. Well, that's good to hear.
I mean, it's just. I mean, each to his own. I mean, if you feel happy making with just a computer, fine. It's no problem. But I still like to use some hardware as well sometimes, if I can. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I've asked everything I wanted.
Excellent.
Hope you're gonna enjoy the night.
I'm looking forward to it. I've heard good things about tonight. I heard it's a nice club, it's good sound. Yes. The people are appreciating.
I've heard the
venue
is packed. So
then that's the good man. So
you're gonna play some new things for us
tonight. Sorry?
You're gonna play some new things for us?
Of course. I mean, I've never played here before. I thought I did maybe like years and years ago, but they're saying no, you've never played there. So it'll be a new experience for the people. Yeah. So I've got some new things that I want to be playing tonight.
New Depeche Mode things.
Shh, I ain't saying anything.
Is that going official? Is that official or?
No. It's just for me and Industrializer to just do remixes that we like. You know what I mean? And play for our live sets. So you'll only hear it in the live show.
Okay, good to hear. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good one tonight. We'll get a beer tonight and we'll make a good time.
Lekker.
Lekker. Cheers mate.
Peace.